Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's a long process. It's a hard, thought out process. Yeah, I know. I was there. I was there from March of this year, thinking about how I'm going to do this, doing all my research, trying to get everything right. What platforms can we use and how we going to record it and how we going to make it sound good and make it all this happen. And then I came upon Anchor. The Anchor app on my phone, the easiest choice I could ever make to do a podcast. It's free to use. You don't gotta pay for nothing. You can record episodes whenever you're ready. You can edit it and then you can release them when you want to. And you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how you're going to distribute it on other platforms because Anchor has partnerships with Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, whatever you name it. Because the Playmakers Bar podcast is the podcast that I use. We're on all them platforms. We're on 9 platforms just by using the Anchor app. So pretty much all the questions that you have questions about doing a podcast, go to the Anchor app or go to the Anchor website, anchor.fm.com, and just search through it, ask questions. Because I tell you, a free app that does all this, there's nothing more you can ask for. I even got friends, they doing their podcast on the Anchor app. Faith Talk, you might have heard of it because it's very good. And it's great that it's an app like this, it's a website like this that makes it easier for people to do podcasts and do what they love best, talking about the things that they love to talk about. So give Anchor a try, see how much you like it. We'll love to hear your podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is TLC time. Take that how you will. Me and Darnell, we're just happy that the December run of pay-per-views and TV is almost over because we know that this is a very slow month. But because we know that this is a very slow month for TV, and because there's been a very interesting discussion of the difficulty of writing television shows that go for 3+ hours, me and Darnell are going to take a non-traditional route, or maybe it is a traditional route now, of looking at everything. We're going to talk about how we think going forward Fox is going to like the programming. We're going to talk about the storylines and how stuff is developing. We're going to talk about the pay-per-view. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So sit back. We go a little bit over time, but hopefully you enjoy it because it's a lot of content and analysis that I think we worked very hard on. I'm not sure, but either way. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have finally made it to the end of a rough 2018. I am your host of the wrestling side of the Playmakers podcast, Dallas Glenn, and to the other side of me is Darnell, the Playmaker Silence. How you doing, Darnell?
Honestly, I am tired.
Yeah, long year, long day, long nights, but hey, there is a pay-per-view this weekend, and even though it was hit or miss with a lot of people, we can tell that WWE put some effort into their go-home shows this go-around, especially Monday Night Raw. I say we just jump right into it. Darnell, what did you think of Vince giving us a free TLC match to promote a TLC pay-per-view?
Interesting. So we have a heel authority figure against the Intercontinental Champion, and nobody gets involved.
I mean, there was Heath. Heath is like Baron Corbin's personal dirty work man as a ref now.
I don't count Heath Slater. This storyline is basically I gotta do what I gotta do to feed my kids. But I don't like it.
But okay, so what do you mean by getting involved then?
I ain't see no Drew McIntyre, no Bobby Lashley. That's supposed to be the pack right there. Dean Ambrose showed up after the match.
But that's the thing, like the story was surrounded around Heath. Now, usually I'm the one that can't be like persuaded about anything, but that's too convoluted. Heath was what drove the story. Heath was the interference. Because the thing with Baron Corbin that they're doing that, to be honest, is unique is Baron is using all of his resources. He has Alexa in the women's division. He has Heath as a referee. Then he has Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Like, Drew has big fish to fry. He's got to beat up on a former Universal Champion on Sunday. He's going for bigger fish. Why would he help in an Intercontinental Championship match when there's already a dirty referee?
You know, I'm not going to call Heath 30 yet. Because he's being forced to do this. He's not doing it in his own will.
True.
So I ain't going to call him dirty. That's why I don't count Heath Slater as an involvement, because he's being forced to do this. It does beg the question, though, will Heath Slater play a role in a certain match on Sunday?
Like, that's what's going to be interesting because, on one hand, it'd be kind of, it wouldn't make sense to me to use Heath for an Intercontinental Championship TLC match that you had no plan of being in, but you don't use it in the match. That could lock down your job for good. I'd be very surprised if Heath wasn't the special guest referee in the general manager match, even if it is just counting out in a forfeit. But that segment stood out to me because it let me know that, Vince is he's listening. The segment though that really stood out to me was the first one, the very first one. Darnell, Seth's promo had every single thing that everybody has been saying for the past calendar year. Verbatim. I don't know who wrote it. I know that Vince cleared it. So basically, long story short, for those who might have forgot or didn't listen, all the things about Brock being champion, all the things about Raw tanking and sucking, all the things about people not getting their just due, even the revival, even all the tweets and commentaries about the revival and how they're being misused. Seth hit every single talking point that the internet wrestling community has ever mentioned or said about Raw this year. And Baron Corbin perfectly played the avatar of what Vince or what a suit in the back would probably do. Even saying, I'm letting you vent right now, but be careful what you say to me. I'm interested that before the last pay-per-view of the year, Vince let this be said in front of everybody. Darnell, do you think that was a twist to troll? Or do you think that was the CEO of a publicly traded company letting his consumers know that he hears them and he understands and maybe might even agree?
Can it be a little bit of both?
Possibly.
Because I don't have the number in front of me, but I think I saw something, and they still had low ratings after that.
Yeah, the ratings dropped like another 4%.
So I say a little bit of both because it's probably going to get to a point where Vince, you have to be consistent about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just can't give us this for the last real show of the year.
Yeah.
Because next week is WWE week, which means not really too much might be going down at the TLC.
No, a lot of taped content. A lot of going in for the holidays content. Nah. It's just going to be 4 shows on cable TV that are just mailing it in.
So it goes back to what I said about this month. Don't put too much into it. Because you see, everybody got hype. Everybody was loving this segment. But then you realize, After TLC is WWE week, Tribute to the Truth week.
At what point, though? Because it is December, and all Decembers are like this. But at what point do we look and think to ourselves, "Well, hell, wait a minute. NFL on Fox is starting to promote SmackDown going to Fox. The $2 billion deal was hyped up and caused humongous spike in WWE stock and trading value. I mean, at what point do we go past, okay, yeah, Darnell, we know it's December, that's all well and good, but in less than a calendar year, SmackDown, which is supposed to be the B show, is going to be going to Fox. And if your A show is like this, and this is the one you care about, this is the one that you over promote, this is the one that you make sure is strong, what's Fox supposed to think about for the B show that they just paid $2 billion for?
See, I want to say nothing about that because we don't know what the conversation is like behind closed doors. Because last time I heard, the brand split might be coming to an end when SmackDown makes that move.
I mean, there's a lot of rumblings and stuff going down. There's rumblings that Fox will change the time slot if the ratings don't improve.
Oh, they will. Oh, they know if they will.
Oh yeah, and that's my thing though. It's like, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to let's analyze the situation again. Like I said last week, with WWE, sometimes it's better to just look at it as a TV show and critique it and analyze it as a TV show. As a TV show, we know that it just got sold for $2 billion to a network. This network already has shows that are making huge waves. It already has hit series like Empire and everything. Fox knows how to have good TV. Fox knows what it needs in its prime time slots. And as of right now, SmackDown might be looking like a bad purchase.
This current SmackDown, I don't think so.
Because here's another thing you have to think of. Fox and USA are different because really USA is NBC. Why would they end the brand split when Fox would have to promote stars and actors that are on a rival broadcasting network and vice versa? Why would they blend together stories and promote stories that's happening on a TV show on another broadcast network? That's one of the things. It's like, yes, ending the brand split will give you the star power that you need to get that show over. But at the same time, is Fox really trying to promote shows that are on NBC? Brooklyn 911, Brooklyn 99, or whatever it's called. My bad, the numbers. It got axed from Fox. Then it was going to Netflix. Then NBC saved it. NBC just aired commercials for it on Sunday Night Football this past week. So it's like, it's not sticking it to Fox, but it is sticking it to Fox. Because as soon as they cut the show, there was an uproar, and NBC saw that there was so much of an uproar. They went to Netflix, and they said, no, that's okay. Thank you for your service, but we'll take that off your hands. Vince doesn't like people telling him what to do. And I understand that Raw is on USA and that we're starting off by talking to Raw, but that's why I say we might need to disregard December being December. Because we don't know the conversations that are going on behind closed doors. But if we look at WWE as a company that produces TV shows and don't try to go too deep into the pro wrestling business, which is an entity that's a whole bag of worms that we definitely don't know, Vince has to step up his TV. He's got to step it up because the best TV is happening on the network where nobody's watching it. Like, there was another segment that was really great. But there's people on Twitter, Darnell, that say they want the Attitude Era, but they're upset at Ruby Riott coming up with the table with the anvil on it. Like, that segment was so good. But now Vince has to worry about, damn, I give you a good segment, and then you complain and whine. If you do anything about what you read about, so
I always had a problem with segments like that.
What you have to understand is that the family.
That's the problem. Like, no family should even be okay with that.
And that's why wrestlers get mad at us the way that they do. Because if you think from the mind of a wrestler, if you were in the business, you would understand that guys like the Anvil, guys like Andre the Giant, guys like Big Boss Man, guys like Paul Bearer, they were heels in an era where people did not know the difference. They were heels in an era where they would legitimately incite riots in arenas and get the hell out of Dodge and keep kayfabe all the way to the next city. This generation of fans does not understand that. Everybody wants to be upset. I can understand if you don't know that part of the business and you want to get upset, but with that comes to a middle that basically every single wrestler that ever talks about podcasters, analysts, blogs, and everything is right, and we just don't know what the hell we think we know. Danville definitely would have signed off on that. 100% would have signed off on that, or else Natty wouldn't do it. TJ Wilson, who's in the back, wouldn't do it. You got two members of the Hart family in the company right now. Forget going to Brett, who that's still kind of rocky, even though it got better over the years. Forget all that stuff. There's a lot of people still alive that cleared it. So we can't really be that upset knowing that they okayed that. Undertaker said,
I always been, even when they did another two, I still didn't like it.
and you know what? That's okay, because again, you digest it how you digest it, and then you feel how you feel. But that's another thing. It's like, if I'm Fox, if I'm USA, and I keep paying this renewal, and I keep paying these licensing fees, I'm thinking to myself, like, going forward, Vince, where's the end game of this, Vince? Because, as we transition a little bit to SmackDown so we can get to the pay-per-view, okay, you had a segment which was kind of interesting. I was digging it. But then you had this backlash on Twitter. And Vince, we're not trying to – we're already on cable. We're not trying to have a revolt and have people boycott us. Then Fox is like, whoa, wait the hell on. We had enough last season with the Anthem stuff. The hell are you bringing on to this show on Friday night? And it's tricky, because now on SmackDown, we have a whole champion that's never on TV and took the pin in a babyface versus heel tag team match. That's already one problem, that for whatever reason on SmackDown, they're now having like just regular tag team matches.
I meant to ask you about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What's so wrong with taking a pin in a tag team match when your title ain't even on the line?
Darnell, who were the other champions in that match?
Man, if you in a tag team match, your title on the line, anything can happen.
Who are the other champions in that match?
It don't matter to me.
Who are the other champions in that match? Nobody. The baby faces, if you're going to do that, Shinsuke Nakamura only has the United States Championship because they wanted to keep the character credible after losing 7 straight World Championship matches, like 5 of which had no DQ rules, and he was a heel and anything could happen.
How many times he defended that U.S. title?
Exactly. And you're going to have him lose in a tag team match and take the pin? Like, what is the point? What is the point of keeping that title on that character? What is the point of having a whole mid-card championship just disappearing? It's one of those things where it's like you put the title on him to try to keep the character credible. Samoa Joe hasn't won a main roster championship yet. Samoa Joe has lost every world title match he's been in too. What does it hurt for a quick roll-up? Some luck. A high-flying fit, like something. What does it hurt for Samoa Joe to take the L and then go on a rampage after the match? Why do we have a champion who's never on TV and never defending taking a pin in a tag team match?
I see what's going on here. It's because he's champion. That's the problem.
Okay, explain.
Because if Shinsuke wasn't United States champion, you wouldn't feel this way.
No, I wouldn't. That's what I said from the get-go, bruh. Yes, I have a problem because he's champion. He's a champion that never defends. He's
the U.S. title
never on TV.
They've been killed that title.
After spending 2 years getting it back up to relevance. You can't treat the United States Championship like the European title when it's the mid-card title on a show.
They've been treated like that.
See, you want
championships in order. The United States champion will come in last, which is ironic when I just said that.
Okay, hey, not gonna beat a dead horse. That my thing is Shinsuke on the card?
No, he's not.
Exactly. That's my whole thing is. Why give the championship to somebody to keep their stock, and their stock gets worse when you put the belt on them? Because historically, it's a belt that you easily forget about.
I really think they think some of the others are idiots, to be honest.
Yes, they have to. Because even though you're playing devil's advocate, there are genuinely fans out there who say to themselves, why does it matter? I don't get it. What's so, huh? Yeah, I was just happy for I don't understand. And then you have fans like me where it's like, bro, the whole reason you put a belt on him, the belt's never there. This is getting just as bad as the Dean Ambrose United States Championship run. And it's just like a wrestler.
Nah, I want to say Dean Ambrose. I'll say the Universal Championship.
No, bro, do you remember when Dean Ambrose was U.S. champion? Do you remember when Dean Ambrose was U.S. champion?
When he was U.S. champion, he was with the Shield, and the Shield had tag team titles. So
they weren't freebirding. Dean Ambrose literally never defended the title. Months after the Shield lost the tag team belts, Dean was still just walking around with the U.S. championship. It got to the point where JBL on commentary, every time they would say, Dean Ambrose is now 290 days. My Michael Cole, he never defends it. When does he defend the damn thing? And the first chance they could in the Battle Royale, Dean lost it. The first time they could make it a match that made sense, Dean lost it. This is that. He really is just having it to happen. They're just having it so that when he's on the roster, when you go to WWE.com and stuff, you see that Shinsuke has something important.
Let me bring up something that you probably should be mad about. If the U.S. title is the way it is right now, how come Rusev is always in it? What are they saying about Rusev?
Rusev hasn't won a damn. Rusev. I'm surprised Rusev didn't get the tag team championships with Aiden. I'm surprised they didn't do like the 1 week thing like they did with the Wyatts. The fact that Rusev is like never gonna get past that one ceiling. Rusev is one of those guys who might need a belt every once in a while. Rusev Day is over, and the Mixed Match Challenge is good for him, and like the crowd likes him, and everything's going good. But it's just like Rusev is not a character that's just supposed to be there. He came out the gate as like a dominant champion. He came out the gate as like a dominant heel that was supposed to be doing stuff like this whole region. He came out as like super athlete.
And when he had the U.S. title, everybody was waiting for America to take that damn title off.
Exactly. He came out in a dude. The entrances that were at that WrestleMania for that match, the pop that happened when John Cena won, it was John Cena, and everybody popped because Vince McMahon was finally able to do his damn USRR versus USA storyline exactly how he wanted to. And then John Cena had his, United States Open Challenge. And then so on and so forth and so on. And really, truth be told, it was doing decent till now. Because when you look at the names who held it, within the span that they held it, it was actually a big deal. Randy, Jinder, Jeff, in that real short span, actually was relevant.
AJ at one point.
What?
Didn't AJ Styles have that title at one point?
Did it? I'm trying to remember who beat AJ. Was it did Randy beat Kevin? Or did Randy beat AJ for it?
I don't remember. I know AJ had it.
Yeah, AJ had it, and Kevin Owens had it too. But dude, that's my point. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Jinder Mahal, who was WWE champion the same year, Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke. Shinsuke's relevant. He had a hell of a run in NXT. We were waiting for him to get something. He had just had 7 WWE championship matches. These aren't random guys that are just sitting in the back like Heath Slater and Rhino were. This isn't like, Connor from the Ascension, getting a singles run while Victor is hurt or something. These are guys who were just in the main event picture. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, hey, why is it okay? So at this point with Shinsuke, why don't you just give it to Rusev? Or if you're not going to give it to Rusev, what the hell is wrong with Rusev? Why'd you break up his tag team in this era where the tag team divisions are thin? We got the Bar going against the Usos for like how many more times? It's the same 3 tag teams. The fact that Rusev's not being fit in like anywhere, dude, like, yeah, that's one of those things though where it's just like you just let that simmer. You don't turn that all the way up to 10. You just let it simmer on low because it's been happening for so long now. People have been wondering forever, like, how has Rusev, like, at least let him be where Samoa Joe and Shinsuke was. Where Samoa Joe is and Shinsuke was. At least let him be one of those guys who always find their way into a main event, whether they win or not. Rusev just seems to be kind of floating.
This is my whole thing about Rusev. I don't think technically he's face, but I don't think he's face out here. He's just there.
And that's the thing with baby faces right now. As much as Vince McMahon wants a baby face, as soon as people turn face, he just lets them go into the ether. It's like turning face in WWE is almost a death sentence nowadays.
Because like when you watch Rusev, do you think face? Do you think heel? You think, oh, that's just Rusev?
I think it's just Rusev. And another thing that's frustrating is Rusev's character has the depth to do what Daniel Bryan does. Daniel Bryan could be a heel or a face just depending on how he says a sentence. He could be a babyface vegan just the way that he says his stuff, just the way that he presents it. He's a heel right now because of how he's presenting what he says. He goes from posting on Instagram, love the bees, save the bees, and now backhanding dads with 5 children who need SUVs. Like, it's just the way that he presents it. Rusev's the same thing. Rusev Day used to be a heel troll. Now it's a chant that gets, random pops whenever he needs it. Like, I don't know. And then there's another feud just on stuff that's random. There's another feud going on right now. You saw it on Twitter last night. You tagged me in one of the.
But Twitter's where the real action be.
What? They cut the Naomi Mandy Rose match.
I don't know why they did.
I hope it's on the kickoff. I hope they put that match on the kickoff.
Woohoo! Speaking of Usos,
the work. I'm gonna call it a work because, man, look, ain't no way in hell that little blonde girl really gonna say that to somebody's wife. Ain't no way, no how, ain't no way. I hope that's one of those things where it's like, you know what, that match got cut from SmackDown. Then you guys did that little Twitter exchange. That's one of the few times where I would think to myself, you know what, that's actually a huge win if they could get on the kickoff show. Because that's one of those things where it's like, okay, you just need like something for it. And you don't want the breather match spot. You don't want Mandy Rose and Naomi to randomly go out after like one of the huge matches to let the crowd breathe. You want that on the kickoff show. You want that to get its full 15 minutes, and you want that whole story to just play out and see where it goes. Because, man, Mandy quick at the mouth. She quick at the Twitter fingers. And I'm trying to think to myself, like, with Raw being the way that it is, and them not knowing what to do with the third hour.
She can make the greatest heel woman on the roster.
Bro, like, yeah, she has that potential. Like, Mandy Rose is the perfect example of a sports entertainer. Is she gonna wow the ROH and New Japan crowd? No. Is she gonna put on like a bunch of fun? No. For her and Carmella, those are the types where it's like, bro, they're going to be very entertaining. Mandy Rose is very good promo. Now she's up in her social media game to where it's to the point where it's like, man, that's a lot of heat. That's a lot of trolling. That's a lot of pins.
By the way, who in the hell came up with the idea for the bar to have a rap battle with the Usos?
Did you notice how I didn't talk about everything in Monday Night Raw, Darnell? Did you notice how like some stuff just wasn't even worth talking about? Right.
I got that's what Pop Mandy was to say what she said on Twitter.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, let's be honest. I mean, how much did anybody really think that the bar competed with the Usos in the rap battle? Did anybody think it was even close? Why? I mean, you know, Sheamus, shout out to Sheamus for rocking the John Cena.
Because we got to hear Uso promo though.
Yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, we gotta take our wins with our losses. Did get an Uso promo, we got that. But you know, and it's weird. But you know, with that, because there's only so much you can say about the rap battle itself, it kind of goes back to my point of like, what are Shinsuke, what are Rusev, what are guys like that doing? Why are we having a triple threat tag team match and the same three teams that are always competing for or holding these championships are in the match? Like, did you not just have a Survivor Series match where you had three other teams that you like never have on TV? Like, you just showcased three other teams and you guys won. It was on accident, but you guys won. Like, you just showed the world there are other teams that
you know
right now.
Let me go back to Raw since you're talking about tag team because there's a title that didn't make the card besides the US title. And I'm wondering what's the storyline going forward because we had a change in titles on Raw.
That has to be a kickoff show match for the rematch. There's no way that Vince gives us a tag team championship change purely for rating marks. Like, there's no way that Vince thinks that changing the tag team championships in a 2-on-3 handicap match with a team that in a worse situation than Shinsuke, like, you have the manager get pinned and you had the championship change. We all kind of knew that they had the title change hands because Vince wanted to spice things up and get people talking on Twitter and get some impressions going. But it's like, bruh, now you have a makeshift tag team that like barely been together and they just beat AOP, who were like, they're like one of the most dominant tag teams in NXT history. So is AOP just going to be an even larger ascension? How you gonna have a team that big just jobbing?
I don't know. But, you know, things happen. Okay. Yeah. Before we get into the other part, I don't even want to get into the other part of SmackDown because I want to wait till we talk about that match to get into that one. Because how SmackDown ended, I felt real good. I felt real good at how SmackDown ended. Oof.
I mean, it's like I've been saying, the women's division is hitting right now. I almost want to wonder if the focus on the women's division to the point where the men's division, and it's so weird to even think this, is slightly being disregarded like the women's division used to be in favor of the men's division. Because when you look at the storylines, when you look at the stop-starts, when you look at the weird title changes, when you look at the weird title reign, then you look at how they're building up the Ronda Rousey-Nia Jax match, how they're building up the Triple Threat TLC match. Dude, it's night and day. They might as well just have made Evolution a TV show, and maybe those ratings would have went through the roof. But because we're already halfway in, it's time now. All right, let's see. Match 1 of 12 that have been confirmed as of now.
12. I got 11.
They added a kickoff show match, I guess. The mixed match challenge final.
How? Who won the mixed match challenge the first season 1?
Miz and Asuka.
How did we get from Miz and Asuka to Alicia and Jinder and R-Truth and Carmella?
Because Asuka has to work a triple threat TLC match, and everybody keeps getting hurt.
Okay. So by default.
I mean, yeah.
So pretty much entry number 30 in the Royal Rumble is a throwaway.
As it always is. I mean, Corey Graves made mention to it, and Michael Cole tried to run over it. How many people really have won out of the 30th spot?
The last time I recall probably was the Undertaker.
Yeah. And let's be honest, that's because Undertaker wasn't working 60 minutes. So, yeah, I
need number 30 to be special. Even if they don't win it. But number 30 here, you should have the people sitting there like, oh man. You want to make people change their pick when number 30 comes out.
I mean, how else do you get the mixed match challenge over, dude? What do they have that's not too valuable to use to make that tournament seem important? You can't give it a belt. You can give it a trophy, but why would you do that? Nobody's gonna carry it around. And you have to remember, like, Jinder and Alicia, because that's who I'm leaning towards, because R-Truth, I think his lot right now is in the undercard, which isn't a bad thing. And Carmella just got done with a pretty good run as a heel and as champion. And right now it's Becky, Charlotte, and Asuka's time. So,
Jinder and Alicia will win because they're on Raw. SmackDown don't get credit for nothing.
No, they don't. But at the same time, this is one of those few situations where it's like, think about it. Like, literally think about it. Alicia has been slowly getting this push, and it's reasonable for Alicia to, like, be that story. The story of, like, she hasn't won a championship since, like, 2008. She's been clawing just like everybody else. Because, like, dude, think about it. After Nia Jax, what's Ronda Rousey really got to do? What is she really? Who are the ones that we could say, okay, that's a storyline? Because even if Alicia wins it or not, and I'm leaning towards not, you need fresh faces. You can't just keep doing the same 3 matches. She's fought Alexa, she's fought Nia, she's fought Nikki. She's got to fight other people. Then Jinder.
Not Alicia. I'm not putting Alicia next.
Well, she wouldn't be next technically, because you got to think, dude. We have to have the Royal Rumble, and Ronda has to have a match at the Royal Rumble.
Like I
then
said,
there's the Elimination Chamber and all that stuff. She has to have a match at that pay-per-view.
Then
whatever they decide to do in March, then it's WrestleMania. So really, Alicia would be hypothetically like 4th in line. Because they're not going to have the WrestleMania main event on random pay-per-views in between. So Ronda would still be facing other people.
Damn it, Ruby Riott. Royal Rumble.
Why wait that long, though?
Because she got a match at TLC, and the next pay-per-view is Royal Rumble.
But no, like, why wait that long to give her chance against Ronda, though? What's she going to do in between? That's another thing with the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble has to either be somebody who you can build up.
Who is Sophie currently with now?
Who, Natalya?
Who is Ronda Rousey's best friend?
Natalya? That's what I'm saying. Why would you wait until April for that match? Listen to me. the Royal Rumble is for one of two things: building up a surprise winner for 4 months so you can make a decent main event out of nothing, or giving it to somebody who's so over that they don't really need to go face to face with the champ every week. Them being them and them staying their course is going to help get the main event match over. You never give it to somebody in between. Ruby Riott would be in between.
That's why I say Ruby Riott, because I have a feeling of who's going to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
So why would Ruby Riott win the Royal Rumble?
Ruby Riott won't win the Royal Rumble.
So you're saying she needs to have the match at the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Okay. That I can see. But that also goes to my point, though. Like, I don't know who's going to win the Royal Rumble because...
I have an early pick.
And who would that be?
We're going to get to that one.
Is it Charlotte?
Nope.
I don't even know why you'd be doing that. Like, I really don't. But, okay. So, Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal, R-Truth, and Carmella. Who you got?
Do I have to pick?
Yes, you do.
And give it a Raw. They like Raw anyway.
Okay. Gotta be my honest pick, too, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, R-Truth is literally 50, and Carmella just had a run. So, yeah. I don't know why the wiki has it ordered like this. I'm hoping it's not in this order, but I'm just going to go in the order that they have it. Seth versus Dean in the ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Who you got?
That one.
This match has lost so much steam. This feud had so much steam.
Dude, it's going to build back up. And for me to say that, I got to go Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I mean, Seth has greener pastures. Seth, his knees have been holding up. Samoa Joe got moved to Raw. Braun Strowman keeps getting nicked up. I think Seth is gonna be the guy going forward by force. So to do that, he needs to drop the Dean though. So I'm thinking Dean probably gets this too. What do you think Seth's gonna be doing at Royal Rumble then?
See, that's the thing. I'll put it for both guys because I don't know. I'll say this: the loser of that match is in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think Dean will win, because Seth, he could earn number one contendership, but with the Royal Rumble coming up, I'm thinking that he gets a match against Brock at WrestleMania, because when else is Brock honestly going to show up and defend the title? He ain't coming to no damn Elimination Chamber or nothing like that. So, yeah. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin.
I'm glad you went to that one next, because when you said that, I had to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting because if Braun Strowman doesn't show up, win by forfeit, Baron Corbin's the permanent general manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got to be cooking something up for that one. They got to be cooking something up. I don't know what. I got a feeling they're cooking something up because I don't think they're just going to give it to Baron Corbin.
No.
Unless they were private talk behind closed doors with Kurt Angle.
I mean, he's been training. And this match is really for the general manager position. So it would be interesting if Kurt Angle's been in training and Kurt Angle's been in very good ring shape.
That's why I say that, because you said Braun Strowman, he really had surgery. That was not storyline. That was actually real, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does have a Universal title match. And if I believe so, that match, it should be happening at the Royal Rumble.
That's if he wins this, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, Could it be because they're trying to save Braun Strowman for Royal Rumble?
Well, no, he doesn't get that match if he doesn't win this match.
Oh, when did they do that one then?
That's what they do that. They do that. They just slip it in there when you're not looking.
So that definitely tells me they cooking something up.
Gotta be.
Because they gotta have Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble.
Oh, hell yeah. Somebody gotta be fighting Brock.
I'm saying it's Braun Strowman. So they definitely cooking something up. They definitely cooking something for that match. And I got a feeling a certain referee gonna be a part of that match. And it's gonna be so many storylines coming out of that match, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like that's why I said, Drew, Bobby, all that other stuff, it wouldn't help. It would convolute. Now we have for sure, like, okay, Heath is being forced to do Baron's dirty work as a ref. Okay, that story's been established. It's been established well enough right before the pay-per-view. Okay. That's where I'm thinking that happens from. Because, until the match is over, he's still an authority figure. He can't make that call to have his own referee. So we'll see. Second match for a championship that they have listed on here. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. I definitely don't think it's going to only be the fourth match on the card. I would be very surprised.
They're not putting it on Nia Jax.
No.
They got bigger plans. They have way bigger plans.
Ronda's definitely going to carry that thing all the way to a WrestleMania. With this,
when
would she lose it?
WrestleMania.
Yeah. So I'm more interested in who Ronda is going to face next than the final result of this match, because it's looking like, this is going to be like a John Cena-esque run. And that's not a bad thing, because Ronda, she's new. She needs that. If she's going to go straight to the main roster from mixed martial arts, she needs, that pro wrestling credibility. I'm interested in how this match is executed, because I feel like as the heel who kind of knows they're going to lose, Nia has done some of her best work, like since being on the main roster.
The only thing that would surprise me is Ronda Rousey actually pins Nia Jax.
Yeah, tapping out Nia Jax after all the work she's done to kind of start realizing her potential as the monster heel, instead of being like, solely an activist for body positivity. Like, I would be surprised if there was a tap out. I would want a new finisher to be debuted.
I would not be surprised if Nia Jax tap out.
Wait, so which one is it?
I would be surprised if Ronda Rousey pins Nia Jax.
Okay. I would be surprised too, but at the same time, it's like, it's odd. Like, Kurt Angle at some point stopped using the angle slam as a finish. And everybody knew, like, okay, if somebody's going to lose to Kurt Angle in a title match, they're going to tap out. But it's still like I said, I'm more interested in how the match goes than the end of it. So, the next one, I do believe it'll be in this spot. The new Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles in a regular singles match for the WWE Championship.
Daniel Bryan just got the title.
Yeah. AJ had a long run. That run got kind of stale. I think this is an example of, okay, we're not going to do it like Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. We're just going to get the rematch out the way. Let's just get the rematch out the way to say we did it. We're not going to treat anybody like they're stupid. We're not going to treat the fans like they're stupid. We'll just have the rematch. And Daniel will just win and get that over with before WrestleMania season. Because whoever is going to be fighting for the WWE Championship, they need to go ahead and just, start getting that ready.
I'm putting a question mark about that one because I have no prediction for the future on now.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because Me personally, just doing some random fantasy booking and fan fiction, Jinder Mahal is probably going to get the 30th spot. If I were him, I would get the hell out of Dodge and go back to SmackDown. Because they do have their option of which championship they want to face. Now, granted, I don't think that's going to get over with a lot of people, Daniel Bryan versus Jinder Mahal. But I wouldn't blame Jinder Mahal if he won for getting out off of Raw the first chance he could. That being said, huge question mark because who have they really built up? Now that Daniel's a heel, he can't go against Samoa Joe. Randy's had a lot of moments in the sun. They don't want him to get too close to the record. So, interesting. No, like I said, this is folks. The way I'm reading this is on Wikipedia. They just have the matches in any damn order. There's no way this match is going to be the sixth match either. But Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, triple threat tables ladder match for the women's championship.
I thought you was going to say that one for last. Now let's get back to my talk about Ruby Riott. There will be a new champion in the women's division for SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Lynch will win the Women's Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who she's going to choose to face at WrestleMania?
It's going to be Ronda.
Now you see where I'm going at.
I mean, this has been like one of the biggest fantasy theories that Twitter's been doing for some time now. Everybody, for some reason, wants Becky to drop at her hottest point so that she can go to Raw. When everybody knows going to Raw is a crapshoot.
It is. But that feud was getting so much heat until, the thing that happened with this and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But don't put it past Vince McMahon to bring Charlotte to Raw.
I honestly think with the way that match ended and with Charlotte, because see, with Becky can be the leader of an entire division. You don't want to have those two on the same show, Ronda and Becky, because you're making Ronda the leader in the future, in the face of the Raw women's division. I think Charlotte can be moved to Raw. Because I think Charlotte is established enough to where she's not going to get lost in the shuffle. Charlotte can go to Raw. They can build off of the finish of the Survivor Series match, and they can really make that what it's supposed to be. And think about it. Becky, let's be honest. Becky just got to this level. Everything's worked perfectly. She's knocked it out the ballpark. But dude, 6 months ago, Becky Lynch was never on TV. Charlotte can beat Ronda Rousey. Charlotte has the track record, the resume, the Grand Slam, all that stuff. If Ronda Rousey's going to take her first L at WrestleMania and lose her belt, it needs to be Charlotte. I know there's the Sasha Banks stands. I know, dude, no, Sasha, no. It ain't going to be Sasha. It shouldn't be Sasha. It should be Charlotte. That being said, I'm with how you were in the Intercontinental Championship match about this match. The two losers of this match are going to be in the Royal Rumble for the women.
Let's just say Becky Lynch does drop the title and goes to Raw. Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Asuka, WrestleMania. We can flip Becky and Charlotte. Either way, I believe these four will be headlining WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. With the way that everybody fantasy books requiring Becky to lose, I'm at first when Asuka got put into this match, I didn't think she had a chance. I still think she has the third best percentage, but I'm interested in Asuka as a wild card now Because word on the street is she got put in the match because Vince McMahon didn't expect the reaction that she got during the pick who's going to replace me segment. And if you're really going to focus on WrestleMania and focus on finding a way to get Charlotte or Becky to Ronda Rousey, then I think it's time to let Asuka have this reign so she can really get her first one out the way because she's going to be on there for a long time. I say give it to Asuka, let her get her first reign out the way, and then things can always happen in between WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble. There's no rule that says a champion has to be champion from January to April. It just usually happens. Because I mean,
you just threw my prediction out there. You're not even knowing it.
Yeah. Because of the way they booked Asuka, I can see Asuka winning the belt and losing it sometime before WrestleMania.
And how about the way Asuka worked that kendo stick?
Bushido. Way up the samurai. Jesus. I'll let you know what she was doing.
The queen and the man left laying.
Perfect form, perfect technique.
Whew. I got Asuka.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be Philly. If they do round 3 with Asuka and Charlotte, you beat me at End My Unfair Street. I got you back at TLC. The rubber match with the championship.
And
Becky and Asuka never really faced off one-on-one.
They haven't. And Becky will be due a rematch. So that's definitely going to be interesting because who says she has to make her decision instantly? She can hold off her decision and go to Raw in like February after she gets her rematch. Or she can get her rematch on a SmackDown. I mean, hey, Vince has a TV show to sell. So, but I'm glad I did it this way. We're coming up to the hour point, and honestly, none of this stuff is relevant. So we're gonna snowball down the hill, Darnell. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. They've been saving Finn Balor because apparently he's been ill and sick. They've been saving up his energy and removing him from dates so he could work this match. I got Drew.
Where is TLC being broadcast at?
Somewhere in California.
California. Does it say it on there?
Hold on. It is going to be in San Jose.
San Jose. Whoever's in section 103 in that dome, prepare to catch Finn Balor's head.
Oh, God.
Because somebody caught Dolph head on Monday.
I saw his jaw leave his spirit. I saw some body part leave. How is he?
I like Finn Balor, but he's there getting kicked off.
Jesus. Yeah, man. Like, I don't see this. I hope it's a breather match because I don't see it lasting longer than 7 minutes. Elias versus Bobby Lashley in a match that Vince Russo would be proud of. It's a ladder match, but a guitar will be suspended above the ring, and the first to retrieve it can use it as a weapon. So it's a ladder match, but it's really a guitar on the pole match because they can use the guitar once they get it, but I don't think the match is over once they take the guitar down.
Move on. Just move on. Just move on.
Got a triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown.
All right, that's much better. That's much better. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's hard. Like all three of them, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't help either one of these three teams or who walks out of here with the title.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna go with my heart, and you know which tag team I love more.
The Usos.
Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
Ever since they lost the Big Show, It looks like they're vulnerable. Anything can happen in multi-team matches like this. I'm thinking the Usos get lucky number 6. I've wondered who could catch Edge and Christian, who could catch Harlem Heat, who could be that next double-digit tag team championship team, who could join the echelon with the Dudleys and stuff like that. And right now, it's looking like the Usos. It seems like every month there's a rumbling that somebody from the New Day might separate, but I'm thinking the Usos are definitely going to stay together for the long haul. I don't think anything's ever going to happen to those two. I think they got a shot, and I think number 6 comes on Sunday too. Natalya, Ruby Riott, and that dreaded tables match with the controversial angle.
All right, look. I'm just gonna say this and just move on. If nobody don't think that Ruby Riott and the Riott Squad not gonna put Natalya through that damn table, y'all sadly mistaken.
I'm glad she's on a pay-per-view and that she gets that kind of shine, but bruh, she's still gonna lose. Hell, I'd be surprised if they don't move it to the kickoff show if they don't announce Naomi versus Mandy Rose anytime soon. They have nothing for Natalya. Natalya is never the help that Ronda Rousey needs. Natalya's always the one getting beat up in those situations.
And now you get to my point when I said about Ruby Riott being the next one. At some point, Ronda's gonna be like, "I'm getting tired of you three messing with Natalya."
Yep.
Damn it, I want to fight y'all.
And whether it's a squash match or not, that's not the problem. We just need to see Ronda freshen it up. You got a women's division, use it. Bayley and Sasha still waiting in line. Dana Brooke could use a squash match. I mean, hey, at least it'd be for a championship. You got a lot of people in that division, and you've been using the same 3. So hopefully after this match.
Where she at? Because every time I see her.
Control yourself, young man. Cruiserweight champion.
She always wearing black. Oh.
Children listen to this. At least I think they do. I hope they do. Children spend money. But the Cruiserweight Championship, once again, has made it to a pay-per-view, Darnell. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. It's not a rematch, but it is a rematch. What are you thinking?
So, are we trying to push 205 Live? Is that what we're doing here?
I would hope so. I mean, hell.
Mustafa Ali was in a match against the WWE champion on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
The Cruiserweight Championship is at TLC.
Mm-hmm.
Why all of a sudden we pushing 205 now?
I mean, if you remember, the Cruiserweights were on Raw. In the beginning, like, they actually were on main roster TV.
Yeah, but it went through this long period. But now we about to end the year and let's get some cruiserweights.
I mean, it's a main roster show, Darnell. If SmackDown goes through a lull, do you not want it to be better? It's the main roster. It represents the product as a whole.
I understand that, but my saying is why did you wait till the end of the year to do this?
Darnell, what have we been talking about for the past 6 months? You're asking me that question like you don't already know the answer.
I mean, it was a rhetorical question. It's just the timing. I'm like, really?
Hopefully, and this is what I mean, hopefully Buddy Murphy, heel, Mustafa Ali, they're building him up as the heart and soul of 205 Live. Hopefully Mustafa Ali can finally be that baby face that when he wins the championship, the people stay behind him and it doesn't get stale. It's a long build to Mustafa Ali getting the championship. But I'm just hoping that 205 Live is only an hour. It's only an hour. It only has like 3 matches per show. It's easily digestible. And it gives everybody the type of wrestling that they like on the indies and the New Japan and stuff. It gives everybody the hardcore stuff and the high-flying stuff that they want. They just need to keep it like this. 1 match, always for the championship. Put it somewhere on the pay-per-view just to remind people that this is a main roster show you can watch. you can subscribe to the network and not have to pay for your cable package and get the main roster craving and flavor that you desire. Because, I mean, Triple H is booking well on the show. He always has interesting matches. He keeps his roster involved. He uses his talent pool. I mean, it's a good show. It's just, like you said, why the hell did they wait till now to start letting everybody else know it still exists?
Yeah.
That being said, I got Buddy Murphy. I really think they're good.
Go ahead. Let the Australian keep the title. Yeah.
Damn. Why he gotta be Australian?
Did he not win it in his home country?
But damn, Darnell, I mean, let's move past that. He's cruiserweight champion, not the Australian cruiserweight champion. Jesus. Always looking at nationality. Finally, so we can survive and get this over with. Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio, two old fogies going down in a chairs match.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know what the whole storyline is now.
Mm-hmm.
I fully understand the whole storyline behind Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
He's the legend killer without saying he's the legend killer.
Because it's PG. But
they found a way to bring the legend killer to this era.
And it's this weird blend of the Viper and the legend killer. It's almost like he's an actual assassin now.
Pretty much, he's killing every idol he looked up before he got to WWE.
Everybody his dad would talk about after coming home on tour, he's knocking him down.
That's why it started with Jeff Hardy. Now it's with Rey Mysterio.
My thing is, when this is all said and done, who's next?
The question is, who's next? Who's next on that list?
Because you have to think, this feud can't last forever. It is a chairs match. You would think that a hardcore match, and that's basically what these all are. They're hardcore matches. They're just a different name. You would think that a hardcore match would end a feud. So my thing is, after he beats the hell out of Rey with a steel chair, or 2 or 5, who's next? Because, he knocked the hell out of Ty Dillinger, had Jeff Hardy fly off the top of the roof through a table and be motionless. And now he's going to beat the snot out of Rey with a seating device. I'm interested in who's next on the roster to get that work.
I don't know to pick. I can't pick his Rey Mysterio. That's Randy Orton.
I'll pick Randy easy. I mean, what if they really? I'm trying to figure out what their plans are with Rey, because to be honest with you, I don't think it's disrespectful for Rey Mysterio to have been on 205 Live, because Rey ain't come back for cheap regardless. I know Rey Mysterio ain't give up New Japan and Mexico and all that stuff to come back for cheap. He did not give no hometown discount. So Rey's getting his money regardless, but it's like, what chance does Rey really have? Maybe because Daniel Bryan is champion now, the optics of that championship feud would look pretty interesting. But after that, and that's probably something that they would give us either at the Royal Rumble or maybe Elimination Chamber or whatever is in March. But after that little throwaway feud to give Daniel Bryan something to do, what's Rey really got to do on the main roster? If Shinsuke and the current stars are like this with the U.S. title, what the hell is Rey going to be like with the U.S. title?
I don't know.
I mean, if you want to promote 205 Live, if you want star power, if you want people to subscribe to the network for either the yellow or the purple brand, you got to start putting the best junior heavyweights of all time on that brand. Rey Mysterio is probably the greatest junior heavyweight ever. Unless you get Jushin Thunder Liger himself on 205 Live, Rey Mysterio is the GOAT. And the GOAT should be competing in the division that he is the GOAT of. He's an 8-time cruiserweight champion. 8. I mean, that's just something, just a food for thought. I don't think they listen to our podcast, Darnell, but if they did, I would hope they just take that little nugget.
Even if they did, they wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right.
But before we close out, because we're over time, but we don't care right now. Next week is WWE week, which means tribute to the troops. You got Raw, you got SmackDown. I believe 205 will be broadcasting that
Mm-hmm. Which should explain the push.
But, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget about NXT.
Mm-mm.
We have a steel cage match.
Mm-hmm.
Gargano and Black. We get to see it, and it's on NXT, and it's not a pay-per-view. So, why I like to say, even though I tell you, don't put too much into it, don't. Take TLC for what it is. Enjoy it, because you already know that following Mondays begins WWE week because the holiday Christmas is almost here. But if you really thrive for some real good, well wrestling action, NXT is the one to watch.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't have done a better monologue myself. So on that note, we will see you guys later.